All right, everybody, we're back again with another episode of Five First Dates. All right, we're on episode 2. All right, let us introduce the characters. See if I can get a good image of. No, that's not a good image of her. This time we have. Come on. Oh, damn it! That was a good one. Now, yeah, perfect. All right. This is the lady that's going to be on the date. All right. It is Alicia, leave. And as you can see, average looking, a little chubby, not very impressive. All right. Another image of her right there. All right. Not much to look at, but she's not unattractive, just not very attractive. Not the kind of girl you'd compete over, is what I'm saying. So now let's get a look at the guys that are going to be competing for her. One second. All right. We have here James, 27, data analyst. See him trying to make some muscles because apparently before this date, he did some push-ups. They call it press-ups because he's European. You see, just like me, he got some sweat stains there because he was doing some exercise beforehand. And yeah, James, redhead. He's honestly the most keen on the girl. He thinks she was the most beautiful girl. I think he said she's very beautiful and something along those lines. It was yeah, like he's never seen a girl before in his life kind of compliments he was throwing around. Let's see if I can get an image of the others. Ooh. Hold on. I think we're only going to get James's name. I think. No. All right. Let's see if we can get an image of all of them together. Okay. There we go. All right. This is the best we can do for now. All right. So we have Mark here. Mark, the most talkative. He comes off a little femmy and sort of, it's not charming, it's just sort of fake, just fake enthusiasm. Just yeah, he's more like he's trying to relate to you and he's doing a lot of mirroring. This guy right here, this is James right here. All right, I believe this is Cole. He's the shortest guy. You can see his sunburned face because he does road work, I believe. Can't remember this one's name. I think he's David. He's the most stable guy, got a stable job, makes good money. And yeah, I think he mentioned his last relationship ended because he was boring or something like that. And then this is Elliot, I believe. Yeah. Let's get better image of the other guys. There we go. Oh, should have done that from the beginning. All right, there you can see James. His name popped up. All right, next one online. Oh, there we go. All right, I should have knew this from the start. There we go. See, Cole. Name just pops up. All right, next one. Ah, I was wrong. Hold on. No, 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 no. And there we go. All right. All right. This one right here with the stable job, his name is Mike. Right. And the last but not least, is Elliot. See Elliot right there. One of the taller guys. I think that first guy is taller than him, but not by much. One of the taller guys. I believe she said he's the best looking. So there you go, Elliot. Right, so she got these 5 guys, and it is not the restaurant. She has to choose between them. Damn it, I forgot that first dude's name. I have to remember it because it becomes important later on. Ah, Mark. Mark, that's what his name is, Mark. So it's Mark, James, Cole, Mike, and Elliot. Mark, Cole, James, Mike, and Elliot. All right. All right, so they they all sort of tour the house. They all sort of have conversations. None of it is important as usual. They all brought gifts. And I believe James, the most excited to see her and think she's the most beautiful girl in the world, brought her champagne because he thinks all girls like champagne. I would go with wine. I go with wine. Most women like wine rather than champagne, but he went with champagne. Next gift, I believe, was from, damn it, what is his name? No, not James. God damn it. I just saw his name. It's the first guy. Mark, right. Mark got her socks. It's a stupid gift, but she liked it because she thought this is the kind of gift she would get someone. So Mark. I don't remember Mark. All right, so he got her some socks, some Christmas socks. Next one was Mike. Mike got her, what was it? Drinks. He got her some drinks. He got her like a drinks, chocolate, like a whole assortment of things. Cole got her some drinks and flowers. And last one was Elliot. Can't remember what Elliot got her. I think Elliot also got her a drink. Can't remember. Yeah, I think he got her a drink. All right, so they're all talking. Mike is just very keen on her, just very enthusiastic. No, not Mike. James is very keen on her, very enthusiastic. And but the problem was he kept talking over her. She did not like that at all. I believe Mike was the one that was making corny jokes, very cringy jokes. Elliot was kind of laid back. I mean, he said it, she's not his type, but I mean, obviously, dude like that, tall dude, good looking, can do better. So obviously she's not his type. Anyone with the options, that's not their type. I'm just saying. So they made a meal. Everyone got to talking, and now she has to choose someone to leave, I believe. And the one she chose was, in fact, James, the redhead that was so into her. Before he left, he thought the number one to win was Elliot because he's a handsome guy. He thought second in line would be him because they had most in common and he's very into her. But he was the first one to go, obviously, because he was weird. She's not beautiful, first of all. You're too excited to see her, like you've never seen a girl before in your life, and you keep talking over her. It's not going to work. All right. So he's gone. I believe she said something about all of her exes have cheated on her. So she's wondering, she asked the guys, have any of them ever cheated before? Everyone said no, except for Cole. Cole said he cheated before, but when he was a lot younger. And yeah, she liked his honesty, which made her think that some of the other guys might be lying, which obviously, definitely, I would say everyone except for James and Mike have cheated before. Because Elliot can get girls. Mark can definitely get some girls. And of course, Cole, he might be the shortest, but I mean, he works road work and he's in shape. So he's definitely getting some girls. So those three definitely cheat. James get no chicks. So that's probably why he got kicked out first. So yeah, obviously he's not in a position to cheat. And Mike is a very nice guy. He's not the kind of guy that girls typically go for unless they want something stable. So he's not going to be cheating on anybody. Next up, now that James is gone, we're down to 4. We got Cole, Elliot, Mark, and Mike left. Next day, there's a conflict between Elliot and Mark because Elliot thinks Mark is fake. He doesn't like his overenthusiasm and there's just several things where Mark is just mirroring everything that she says. She's like, I like hiking, and Mark is like, oh my God, I was just about to say the same thing, and he's doing all this fakeness. And there's a bit of a friendship between Elliot and Cole, and there's a friendship between Mike and what is his name? Mark, right? So they kind of split in that sort of divide because I guess it's just Mark and Cole and Cole and Elliot are more masculine, manly type of dudes, so they kind of have a lot in common. The other two, Mike he's not masculine. He's just more of like I said, nice guy. He's just very accommodating and he's polite and all that stuff. So he's not, you're not really gonna have that much of a conversation with him. You can't really joke around with him unless it's like dad jokes. Like it's not, you know what I mean? I definitely wouldn't bond with him on that level. He's just sort of a guy that's just there and you just forget he's there after a while. And of course, Mark loved to hear himself talk, so it's a perfect sort of dynamic between those two. All right. So they're doing that. See Mark, as you can see him here, every chance he gets, he kind of corners her and tells her all about how great she is and how much they have a connection and all this stuff, and he's just feeding stuff in her ear, and it's just like, yeah. This dude, he's definitely playing the game. So he's doing that every second. And now that it's the second day, God damn it, what is her name? It doesn't matter what her name is, but her friend shows up to help her evaluate the guys. And her friend is, how do you, her friend is a rather large individual, as you can see. And that is what you have to look forward to with that, whatever her name is. Was it Angela? Who cares? But that's the size she's going to go up to. She's maybe 3/4 of that size now, but that is pretty much what she's going to go to. And that's her best friend. So they're not going to be far apart in their eating habits. All right. So her friend comes to help her evaluate. They talk. I believe Mike was trying to impress the friend. He was doing a lot of stuff, but he made the mistake of getting the friend a drink and not getting his potential date a drink. And she didn't like that. She wanted it to be about her, and he was just more trying to impress her friend. And there was some conflict once again between Elliot and Mark, because Elliot kind of called him out, and he talked to her and he told her some people are being fake, and Mark was able to hear it, and he kind of like bucked back a little bit, and they kind of got into a whole thing. All right. So date. Everyone got to talk. It was pointless. A bunch of conversations that were meaningless. Elliot was just sort of just sipping his drink, not really caring, not really saying much. Cole pointed out the fact that he was honest about him cheating, and he was saying in general, most guys who say that they haven't cheated or haven't done anything wrong are probably lying. And Mark took offense to that, and he sort of started arguing with Cole, and of course Elliot didn't really like that, and I think yeah, so they kind of got into that whole debate there. The friend gave her some advice, but it wasn't very impressive. It was more like she's not sure about Cole because he cheated before. She's not sure about Elliot because he's a lot like her exes, and he's almost too good to be true because he's so handsome and all that shit. And she's not sure about Mark because he seems very enthusiastic, but how much of it is genuine? And she said Mike is a good guy, of course, good guy. Right. As you know, if you get the good guy label, it's probably a death sentence when you're dating a girl. Like it's just not going to work. You're pretty much friend zoned. All right, so that's the advice. And the next day, Elliot kind of called out Mark for going at Cole because of the statement that he made. And Cole was Mark was explaining that he thought that Cole was taking a jab at him, but it was all nonsense, and they kind of sort of squashed it a little bit. So it's time to decide who's going to go. And I believe, let me just show the image. As they were sitting there, sort of debating, she's kind of talking to them and telling the reasons why she have doubts for some people. She talked about Elliot, saying that he reminds her a lot of her exes. She talked about when she got to Cole, she talked about the fact that he wasn't very sociable, and he didn't talk a lot when they were at the sort of dinner with her friend. and he sort of started explaining that he didn't want to be the loudest person in the room, and she started explaining what she thought, and then he started talking over her, and she didn't like that. And then she talked about James being very nice, but he didn't refill her drink. He refilled her friend drink only and kind of forgot about her. She talked about what is it, Mark, about the whole conflict between him and Elliot. She didn't like that. She wanted to kind of be about her. And yeah, but she ended up letting go of Cole. She sent him home because of him kind of talking back to her, talking over her during the sort of evaluation. I didn't think he was going to go, but I think when he did that, kind of sealed his fate. So Cole is going. Cole is packing his stuff, and Elliot once again kind of corners her, and he's in her ear, and he's saying all of these things and kind of flirting around. Yeah. So he's doing that while Cole is packing, and Elliot gets annoyed by it, and he comes down there, knocks on the door, lets them know that Elliot is leaving and he needs to come out there and, you know, say goodbye. And he's kind of pissed off about that. So they kind of got into a whole shouting match about that, and she was turned off by it. It is what it is. That night, Elliot was talking about the fact that he no longer finds her as attractive as he did the first day, which is probably a lie. He probably didn't find her that attractive immediately. And yeah, so the next day, and her mom is going to show up to kind of help her evaluate the guys. Elliot decided to take her aside and let her know that he doesn't really see a future with her, and he's going to go home. Behind closed doors in the camera, he says that she's not really his type. He's more used to dating fitness girls and stuff like that, which is kind of a nice way to say that she's fat. I mean, he didn't want to say it directly, but it's probably what it is. He's just not physically attracted to her, and he can do better. So he's not going to like fight over a girl that he's not really that into, and some chick that he probably smash on a night out, but he's never going to be like in a relationship with that. That's just what it is. And I would have done the same, to be honest with you. I wouldn't have entertained the second day because I just wouldn't be able to do it. Like, I mean, I could do it just for the win, but there was no point to that. That would just be a waste of time. She's just not that attractive. It's just not worth the competition. So he leaves, and Mark is excited about it, and Mike is excited about it too, because it's just now down to Mark and Mike, and she has to decide between. And her mom is here to help her decide. All right. And her mom is in better shape than her, which is always disappointing when you with a lady to see that her mom is in better shape than her. As you can see how wide she is and how slim her mom is. Not good, not good. All right. So the mom sort of talks to both of them, and during the conversation, we find out that Mark is 37. He's a lot older than her. I think she's like 26 or something like that. And yeah, so they kind of questioned him a lot, and he was talking about he haven't met the right one and all this nonsense. And they talked to Mark, they talked to Mike, and he mentions the fact that his last relationship didn't really work out because his girl found him boring and all this stuff. And yeah, they had dinner. The mom in the end liked Mike. She thought he's more stable, and she advised her daughter, if you want stability, go with Mike. Mark might be more fun, but it's very uncertain. All right. I believe Mark also doesn't really have a stable job, so it's part of the fact that he's not a stable choice for a relationship. Later on, same girl that said she's here to date someone she wants to have actually be in a relationship that is a little bit more serious. She said one of the disqualifying factors for Mike is that he's a little bit more serious and she's not ready for that now. And one of the disqualifying factors for Mark is that she's not sure he's being genuine. All right, so she kind of asked him questions and she called out the fact that 3 people have already told her that he's kind of playing a game, and she asked him about it and he was just kind of like, I want to be with someone that's not easily influenced, and if I'm being genuine and you don't really believe in me, it's not really going to work. So that's kind of his defense. And yeah, and Mike was just kind of there, just kind of taking up the table. But in the end, she said she sent Mike home because she felt like they were more friends. Like I said, he got friend zoned, and she ended up with Mark. All right, let's skip to the end. They did a lot of conversations, eating, kissing, that kind of stuff, but I don't care about any of that. All right, but in the end, after months, as you can see here, Mark and Vicky, oh, her name was Vicky, are now officially an item. They're coupled now. So it worked out for a month. So we'll see what happens with that. Well, we won't see because I don't care. But this is episode 2. Until next time. I saw a preview of the next episode. It's going to be all guys. So should be a fun time. Till next time.